Hello guys, how's it going? Welcome to this brand new video. Today we're going to be discussing animation inside GameMaker. Now, animation in GameMaker really revolves around a few lines of code, and one of those lines is the image_speed function. Now this is a very important line when it comes to animation because it actually sets the speed that GameMaker runs through your frames. So that means your animation could play slower or faster. And that's something that you really want to be able to control, just so your game can look and feel exactly how you want it to. So let's just jump right in here. I've created a player sprite, and I've got my image 0, and that is my player sprite. It's just a blue square. So in animation, the important thing, or one of the important things, is having frames, because animation is basically where the program will just run through the frames constantly, and it will trick the eye into thinking that there's movement. It is multiple frames that look similar, and the human body does its stuff, and we're like, oh man, look, it's moving. So how do we add multiple frames into GameMaker? This is actually quite simple. All we're going to do is click on the image once, not double click because we don't want to open the editor, and we're just going to copy and paste. So I use Control-C and Control-V to do that. And now I can double click on image 1 and I can edit this image. Now for the purpose of this, I think I'm just going to cut a little bit off the top here. Let's take a little bit more. There we go. And now I've got my two images. I've got this one and this one. So you can do this to test, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. So GameMaker actually has a built-in feature on the side here called Show Preview. Now, for you, it's probably unchecked. I did check it for the project I was just working on. And if you would show preview, it will actually show you a preview of your animation. Now, the default speed is set to 30, and as you can see, because I have 2 frames, that looks extremely glitchy. So, what you can do is you can change that to 5, or you can change it to 15, or you can change it to 100. You can change it to whatever you want. It's just there so you can test your animation out. Now, be aware that whatever speed you set there is not the speed that you're going to be seeing in the game. It's just for the previewing purposes. GameMaker even has a little warning right underneath, saying this is not the speed in the game. Use only for the preview. So yeah, so that's that. So we have our 2 frames, and now all we have to do is tell GameMaker to switch between these frames. And it's actually quite simple. So if I add a object here, and I name this obj_player, and I set the sprite to the SBR player, all I'm going to do is add a create event, and I'm going to drag in a piece of code, and I'm going to type this. This is the piece of code. Image_speed equals, and then I'm going to choose 0.2. Now the 0.2 is something, that's the number you edit, that is the speed, but be aware that the speeds are slightly different for this than they are in the preview. So you're not going to type in 30 because it will give you a different result. So I've got image_speed is equal to 0.2. So basically all that code is going to do is when the object is created, it's going to play between whatever images are inside our sprite. So in this case we have image 0 and image 1, 2 images. It's just going to play through those at a speed of 0.2. Now you can use this basically anywhere. For an example, if you are doing movement, you might want it to switch your sprite to a walking animation, and you'll want to set that walking animation to a certain speed. So in the in add event, you would have your keyboard left because you're moving left, and all you have to do to switch the sprite is you would do sprite_index is equal to my sprite. And then you would do the exact same thing as we did before. You just do image_speed equals 0.3 or whatever. It's the exact same line of code that you're going to use within the step event, within key pressed events, anything like that. So that being said, let's test this out and see how it works. Let's create a room here, and let's stick the player into the room, and let's hit play. So now you can see we've got an animation going at a speed of 0.2. So anyways, guys, I hope this helped you. I hope you learned a bit about the image underscore speed, and I hope you learned a bit about animation in general. I do want to have a more in-depth tutorial on animation coming up, but there are some really great ones out there. I know Sean Spalding's got one. Heartbeast has a good one for his platformer tutorial series, and yeah, there's just some great tutorials out there. So if you're really curious, go out and look for those. I'll have a link to some preferred ones down below or on the screen. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you in the next one.